Hello and welcome back to HoT of Tales, and it's Pride Month, everyone. Are we excited? I certainly am. This is when I have the most power. And we are going to be playing Thirsty Sword Lesbians for you today, and because we've been sponsored by Evil Hat Productions, and this is one of the most exciting things that's ever happened to me. HoT of Tales is going to be playing various games by Evil Hat, including Girl by Moonlight, Thirsty Sword Lesbians here, Monster of the Week, all throughout Pride Month, and you should check it out. And you should also check out the link in the description in the chat to support the channel, and check out the sale that's happening, because a bunch of these games are going to be on sale for 20% off with code Pride24. So that's pretty cool. I've got to say. But we will dive in first of all by introducing the players in this game, the wonderful players. Should we start off with Anya? Hi.
Sure, I can start. Hi, I'm Anya. My pronouns are she, her, and I am going to be playing Nyx Lamar, pronouns she, they. They are the Trickster playbook, so that's a fun one. Is there anything else I should say?
I don't think so. I think that's pretty great.
Okay, there we go.
Wonderfully done. Let's go to Sam. Hi.
Hello folks, I'm Sam, my pronouns are he, him. I'm a science communicator based in Scotland. I'm a white man, I've got brown hair, brown beard, colourful glasses, and I'm wearing a blue shirt with stripes on it. I'm playing Melody Starlight, who up until now was the Devoted playbook, but that has changed this evening. So we'll be moving over to the Infamous playbook.
Ooh.
Excited.
If you haven't seen the last episode, you should check that out, because a lot of stuff happened. Let's move on to Ida.
Hi, my name is Ida. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a Latine woman of color. I'm an immigrant in the Netherlands. I have tan olive skin, dark misbehaving hair, and I have sort of android circuit board makeup on my face. I'm going to be playing Dora. Dora is a hollow goddess. She will talk like this, sometimes drab and slowly, but things that come out of her mouth are funny, like memes.
Forgot about memes. Oh my god. Oh, and last but certainly not least, Sakaya.
Hi everyone, I'm Sakaya. I go by she, her pronouns. I am a white trans woman dressed in a lot of pink with green fluffy ears on right now. And I'm going to be playing Chrry HoT, who is a meme.
That was a meme right there.
I shall be playing Chrry HoT, who is the Troubadour playbook. And yes, very excited for today.
Truly sensational. That made my day. I love that. And hi, I'm Liv Kennedy. I am the Gayme Master today. I use she, her pronouns. I am a podcast lady. That's my official title. And I also make some videos on the internet sometimes. I am a mixed race woman, both white and Caribbean. I'm wearing glasses, and I've got a cute little pride shirt on with a bunch of like pride people who are part of the LGBTQ plus community.
That's so cute.
We love them.
Yeah, and it says family on it. It's very cute.
Aww.
Yeah. And I got short cropped hair. So that's me. And before we dive into things properly, I'm going to let you know some content warnings for the episode right now. So we've got academic pressure, social pressure, power imbalance, mentor figure abuse of power, public embarrassment, miscommunication, and potential kidnapping. We will see how that goes. So giving the warnings up top, I'm so like aware of you being like, interesting, Liv. What's going to go on there?
What a menu you are presenting us.
I wonder what's going to happen in this game.
Look,
3 from the top and 1 from the bottom, please.
I couldn't possibly say, but we will find out by diving straight into things. This episode is going to center around our wonderful Chrry HoT. So, Sakaya, you are currently extremely busy. There is a showcase that you are in charge of. The headmistress has come to you and said, well, if anyone can, show off what this academy can do, it's going to be you, Chrry. because this is your area of expertise. This is what you shine with. You are an influencer. You make, well, not, would you say a living? You get a stipend by being at the academy, but do you make some money from what you do you think?
I think Chrry probably does. Sponsorship.
Yeah.
Stuff,
Hashtag spawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is something that you're very skilled in. However, there's a lot going on and very little time to do it in. This afternoon is when you're going to be going live and basically exploring everything that the academy has to offer. You'll be interviewing people. You'll be just showing off the facilities, doing everything you can to make sure things look good. So what do you think you're up to right now as you're trying to head around and prepare?
I think she starts the morning with like a very sort of big like the events of the day kind of I was going to say post, but video. And it's kind of like a call to arms for all the different things that are going on. And then from that point on, she goes into overdrive, trying to go from A to B and grabbing like little interviews with staff and students alike and trying to kind of like prep things up as she goes through the day. I think she's given like an itinerary from Aurora.
Yes.
And so she just has this sort of like mental checklist and just frets and rushes around like trying to tick them all off.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll give you a reminder about any NPCs that you've met or any, PCs as well that you've met, obviously. Who do you think, if you had to choose 3 people in this game to interview and to show off the best of what the Academy has to offer, who might you choose? I can give you a rundown of who you've met so far if you should need that.
I'm laughing because immediately came to mind as a troll, That's me speaking as a troll, not in any seriousness. Sorry, Sakaya, go on.
Priyanka is available to be interviewed should you wish. She's made that very clear because she's been trying to help this entire time, and she is like, along with your friend Amari, who also helps you with your costumes and is just absolutely fabulous. They have been helping you get things set up and just make this the best that it can be. So yes, she's made it clear several times that she is available to be interviewed. So
yeah, I think maybe Chrry puts out like little calls every now and again for people to sort of like, and she has to sort of like scroll past loads of messages from Priyanka to try and find other people. But I think Amari would be a good one.
Okay, Amari.
Try and showcase some of the stuff that he makes for Chrry to wear. Who was I've forgotten the name, the person that we were going to have in our team before next.
Renee Townsend.
Renee Townsend, thank you. That might be a good one because she's like a bit of a powerhouse.
Absolutely, she is a powerhouse. However, right now, even though as little as Renee cares about this, she's got a reputation as being a bad girl. From the time that she won the first trial that you had, basically, and she went past you guys and she got the artifact before everyone else. But I will be clear, she does not give a shit about this. In fact, she's like, yeah, cool, think whatever you want to think, but she is cool as hell. So
yeah, and Chrry has like maybe a slightly toxic attraction to bad girls. So maybe she's been trying to get an interview with Renee, but after dissing her live. But gosh, I don't know. Give me some others then.
Okay, so when I will mention that, and she's probably expecting to be asked, is the Princess Harmonia.
Let's do that.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I think maybe you get like a message and you didn't even know that she had your number. You get a message from the princess saying like, so what time do you need me?
Jerry's like, whenever you're available, whatever suits you. I mean, I can work around it.
Okay. Like I need to have a little bit of a rest in between classes. How about 4:55, 4:45, wait, what time is it starting? This is all in the text. It's a huge block of letters.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? Tell me about everything. What are you going to ask me? I would like to have a list of prepared questions so that I can make sure that I can answer them and run it by my PR team. Is that okay with you? Like a bunch of like different things that you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I cannot do this right now.
I think Chrry's she hones down on the last time that the princess gave, like nails that one down. Okay, yeah, let's say 4:55, and of course I'll get you some questions. Don't worry, and
Just
then
appeasing her.
just and then doesn't send questions.
You haven't got time for that. She won't even notice. It's fine. Oh, go ahead. I thought you were going to say something. All right.
Nope.
Let's move on. So I think that it's at this point when you're like rushing around that the headmistress comes over and says, Chrry, how are we doing?
Yeah, it's all very good, very good. I got an interview with the princess lined up today.
Ah, well, that's to be expected. She is one of the shining stars of the academy, after all.
Yeah.
Along with you, of course.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Now, I just want to make sure that you know that the stakes are high here, don't you, dear?
Yes. I mean, I've never let you down before.
Of course not. No. But of course, there was the whole thing last year with Yamai Red Silk just completely going off the rails, and she took such a dark path, and she left the school, and it really, it's something that we need to do a little bit of damage control on. So this really has to shine.
I will do my best. I mean, all publicity is publicity, right? I mean, even Yamai, the notoriety's sort of, brought attention.
I suppose, but I'd rather people like Princess Harmonia or yourself be the poster child of the school, not
Absolutely.
not Yamai. You understand?
Yep, I completely agree.
Wonderful. Well, I suppose if you need any help, not that you will need any help because you know exactly what you're doing, you can let me know. But I'll let you do your thing, and I look forward to watching the live stream on the wave.
Okay, good. Chrry had a kind of like, well, actually, there is something, and then when she steamrolled over, it's like, okay, no, I better not ask for any help.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Chrry leaves a little bit more nervous than when she went in. Okay, this is Princess Harmonia. And then her mind starts going like blank. All these questions that are buzzing around her head, and ones that she was going to fire off, she's like,
Just struggling with that. I think it's at this point when you're kind of wandering off and trying to figure a few things out that you overhear a conversation. And it is your good friend and perhaps object of your affection, Nyx, chatting with someone else. Nyx, you are in the hallway chatting with your ex, Giselle?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tell us a bit about Giselle.
Giselle is Nyx would see her as very overly affectionate to the point that they are uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Something that they didn't realize when they first started having this casual thing that Giselle doesn't realize is casual. So,
yeah,
just kind of curled in a little bit on themselves. And you would, anyone who knows Nyx would maybe recognize that over time, her very pristine black hair has kind of gotten a little bit more of a wave to it and has lightened a smidge over the past couple of months as you've gotten to know her. But she's not quite as stark anymore. But she's like arms crossed, very uncomfortable, just looking down at Giselle. What do you want, Giselle?
I mean, I just wanted to, and I think she will like take a lock of your hair if you're okay with it, and just kind of like twirl it a little bit. I just wanted to say how nice your hair looks. You're doing something new with it, and I think it looks really cute. I just wanted to let you know why the change.
Plucks the hair back from Giselle's fingers. No change in particular, just letting things go a little bit more natural. That's all.
Sure. I mean, I'm a fan of letting things develop naturally. You know that. She like shakes her head, like, why did I say that? I mean, I don't know if you're seeing anyone right now, but I just thought I would mention that I'm free this weekend if you maybe wanted to hang out or something. But of course, it's not a big deal, really.
Giselle, what we had was casual. There was no strings attached. There was nothing to do with anything there. It was just fun. You have been latching on a little bit too hard to this. You know that, right?
Look. Maybe have I caught a few feelings? Maybe. But that's not a bad thing, right? I just thought maybe we could like try things out and see how they go, and just take you on a date, maybe.
Giselle, no, that's not what I agreed to. That's not what we agreed to. And I'm sorry if you thought there was more to it than that, but I'm not okay with that. I'm me. I can't do that. So I'm sorry, truly, but that's not for me.
No, that's fine. No, you definitely are you. Okay, sure. Yeah, I'm gonna go. And looking extremely downcast, she does turn around and leave. And Chrry, you did overhear all of this.
Hello, mate. Yeah, Chrry has got a tumble of feelings right now. She was hearing about Nyx and her ex, and she's in that kind of like, do I go and... Nyx is looking like a bit fed up, right?
Yeah.
So I think Chrry kind of like swallows some of that jealousy, heartened by the fact that Nyx was giving like a firm refusal. So it's like, maybe I should. But she's never dated before. Her parents are very strict. So she kind of like pads up kind of softly behind Nyx, a little tap on your shoulder. Hey, clingy ex, hey.
Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
I mean, there's not very much to talk about. She wanted more than I could give, so I had to let her go. And she could not take no for an answer. Hopefully now she does.
Oh yeah, well, kind of. Pretty firm, I guess so.
Try to be.
You okay?
Yeah, of course I'm okay. Things are fine. Things are great. What are you working on? Are you busy right now?
No. I have to interview the princess, in a bit, but I mean, I got time for coffee if you want to chat over the whole Giselle thing, and we.
There's nothing really to talk about. It's all done with. Things are fine. Life is good.
Sakaya, can you roll for emotional support if you wouldn't mind?
Would help if I had my dice with me.
I'm so in the moment. You're like,
yes, I can.
I don't need dice. I'm doing it.
Dice? Who needs dice?
I don't need it.
I'm a meme. Memes don't need dice.
So true.
Emotional support. That is heart, right?
Heart or spirit, I believe. Yes, heart or spirit.
I feel like using spirit because I feel like I need to take a hit to this. No, okay, I'll roll with heart. Let's see what happens. That is double one, so that's a 5.
Oh.
Okay, so that's like a crit fail. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, that's
had
so
you
funny.
spirit, that would have been 2.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay. So, yeah, you do not manage to. You can't even use a string on this. Yeah, no, that you're unable to take an XP though because you failed a roll, so that's always good to have a silver lining off. Yeah, you try to reach out to Nyx. How do you do so? You are offering to go for coffee.
Yeah, Nyx is strongly refusing the coffee, and she's fine and all that. So Chrry is probably just burbling a little bit. I mean, milkshake. It doesn't have to be coffee. It's bubble tea, milkshake. I mean, I'm just. It's not. I didn't. You just looked down, and I just thought you could have. A beat. She's just stuttering and not finishing sentences. And...
Dear Gayme Master, guess what has gone up to 4?
Is it
because I rejected the emotional support.
Oh, dearie me. So, can you tell us a bit more about your feelings or lack thereof? I suppose.
Oh, feelings are gross. I don't want to be anywhere around feelings. And yeah, so my feelings track has gone up to 4, which for the trickster means that I can't hold it in anymore. Tear off the mask and scream about what you've been holding in, do what you've been afraid to do, and damn the consequences.
What do you do? What is next?
I am intrigued by this because Nyx is extremely conflicted at this moment, and they just look at Chrry, this bubbly, adorable person, and they're just like, I can't have feelings for people, okay? They are complicated and difficult, and they always want something from you, and I can't do that. I can't be that for anyone. Does that make sense? Like, I am myself. I keep going as I am, and other people, they make things so much more difficult. I just want to be me. I'm me. That is who I am. I need to look out for myself.
I get that. I go to like try and touch your hand.
Flinch back a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I get that. I'm sorry. Sorry.
No. Friends are complicated. They make things difficult.
Yeah, that's fine. I get it. Okay. I'm a difficult friend. That's
No, that's not what I mean. I mean that there have been too many times when someone has said that they're a friend and then they're not, and they do things or say things and they make it hard. It's better to just bottle things up and avoid. Stay away. It's easier.
Yeah. Well, look, I have an interview. I've got to go and give an important interview, so I'll go and do that. And yeah, catch you around next. That's yeah, sorry. And Chrry spins on her heel.
And Nyx is like tearing up right now, like as they were talking.
So let's go through your feelings mechanic. So you've reduced your feelings to 0.
Hey,
and you clear a condition. That's great. It feels so good to get it out.
Preconditions.
Yeah, wow. Do you think you take any other conditions that you don't have? Even though you just cleared one, but this seems like a pivotal moment.
Oh, I do think that makes Nyx feel guilty.
Yeah.
I had guilty, but
now you felt really good to get it out, and then you were like, oh wait, now I feel guilty again.
Because I just said that friends complicate things.
To your friend.
To a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that she's still guilty.
Okay. Back up to guilty then.
But hey, feelings are at 0.
That's great. No feelings is great. We love that.
Yeah, it's perfect. And she just goes off to practice with her expandable glaive, just twirling it around, getting her mind out of things.
So everyone who witnessed your mask dropping in a way gets a string on you. And so Sakaya, Chrry would definitely get a string. And I also think
it's 4 strings on Nyx now.
My goodness. And I also think Melody and Dora, do you think that you would have been around to witness this interaction?
Ooh. Would Chrry have invited us for moral support as she went to go talk to the headmistress, for example? We could have been like on the periphery, or
it could have been more a kind of. I think Chrry almost like subconsciously knows that she needs support after seeing the headmistress, even though she doesn't quite connect why that is. So maybe would have like arranged to meet you, in the student lounge or something straight off. So perhaps we're kind of converging. Or
yeah, so you've arranged to meet afterwards, perhaps, and then you overheard this.
Okay, it has been overheard.
Okay.
Well then, you both get a string on Nyx as well then. And even though, you know what, I think you would have already had the insecure condition for sure, Chrry, but take it if you do not have it. From speaking to your headmistress and feeling completely insecure there, but also from this interaction. Because,
yeah, I think you're definitely insecure.
Yeah, because your headmistress is your patron in effect. And with the troubadour, when your patron or someone who represents them criticizes you, you become insecure. If you're already insecure, you take another condition. So I'm going to say that you got it from there, and then you felt even more insecure here, but you're not taking another condition now. Just insecure.
Okay.
Just keeping that. And also, can we have like a little conditions check-in, maybe, from everyone? Because I feel like there's a lot going on. So should we start with Nyx?
Yeah, Nyx is guilty and insecure. So -2 to emotional support, which is great because I already have a -1. And then -2 to entice.
Okay. Melody.
So I started the session with guilty, so -1 to emotional support, and insecure, so -2 to entice. But I had a thought of how to get rid of one of those.
Interesting.
Whilst heading towards this scene and witnessing what happened with Chrry and Nyx, I would have a notebook in one hand and would have been just like absent-mindedly tearing 2 very specific pages out of it and throwing the rest of the book in the trash. So just throw away
Okay.
some lyrics. So an
Destroy
important thing
them.
from the past to try and get rid of insecure there, to feel a little bit more about my own talent rather than what I was hiding behind before.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say that will clear your insecure condition.
Lovely.
Okay. Ida, how do you think that Dora's feeling?
Dora is currently guilty,
Mhm.
so -2 emotional support. And Dora is also feeling a bit insecure, which will affect her -2 entice.
This tracks so well for like an academic setting, just feeling guilty and insecure all the time. Okay. And finally, Chrry.
Yeah, so Chrry picked up Insecure from the Headmistress, as we know, and you've said I don't have to pick up another one. Not that I really like want to push it and say, hey, give me more conditions. But I do wonder actually if that interaction, after already being insecure, that interaction with Nyx has made me a bit hopeless because I couldn't support.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know how to process it, and I've turned my back on. I felt rejected, but I've turned my back on her. I'm the one that stormed away.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that especially during such a pivotal time for you, that interaction will have definitely made you hopeless. Yeah. And on top of that, before we move on, I'm going to say that you have been hit with a stagger because that was quite a lot. So how many conditions do you have?
2.
Okay, that's not so bad. If you had like 4 or 5, it would have been really bad. But you only have 0 to 3. So when you suffer a staggering physical or emotional blow, choose an option from the below list based on the number of conditions you have marked. So you can either lash out at someone whose regard matters to you, provoke them to do something foolish or harmful, take advantage of a string you hold on them if applicable. Or you hesitate or stumble and the opposition gains an opportunity, or you grin and bear the blow, mark 2 more conditions. I'm gonna pop these in the chat for you so you can have a little looky.
Oh goodness.
It's big day for Chrry. Big day.
Yeah. Well, not only
wondering.
that, she also has a string advance on me.
So if you wished to, you could not grab, but you could like call after Nyx while they're walking away, or you can do something else on this list. Bearing in mind that Melody or Dora are also nearby.
Does it have to be against Nyx? Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
It does not have to be against Nyx, no.
I was wondering if I could bank it for the interview.
Interesting. Absolutely, you can. I would love that. Dora, Melody, you've seen this transpire between your friends. What do you do?
Oh, you
Melody, this is most concerning.
Yeah, it really is. Let's go check in and awkwardly shuffle.
With whom do we check in? Our friends seem to have diverged.
Well, I think Nyx probably needs a little space right now. Possibly check in with Chrry, and we'll let Nyx settle.
That is a wise course of action. Chrry Heart, hello. We have arrived as appointed.
Hey, I'm actually busier than I've got mascara in my eyes. I thought I was going to have time for a drink, but I've got to interview the princess. It's extremely important, and there's a lot of pressure. Maybe I can catch up with you later today.
If there are any administrative tasks you would like assistance with, please know that I am at your aid any time.
I can't think of anything, Dora, but thank you.
I've got you something, and I'm gonna go into my bag and pull out a pastry, which from your family's bakery. So I know that you mentioned these before, and I thought it was a big day, so I brought one along. I don't know if it helps, but
Chrry just stares at you for a moment. She's just like on, and
While you stare, can you roll emotional support?
yeah, just like
There's so much emotional support. I'm like, it's like a favorite thing to use, but yes.
I'm going to use spirit.
Chrry, your face is leaking.
it's the mascara, Dora.
So that's going to be a 9, and yeah, that's as much as it'll be for a 9.
Okay. You can spend a string if you have one.
I actually do have a string. I will do. I'll take that into up to 10.
Wonderful. Yeah, you get to add 3 for
Is it
that.
3 up to 12?
And I assume as well that you have, I believe you have a condition that gives you a -2. Do you have guilty?
Mm-hmm.
So you get
yeah,
-2 to emotional support.
just
So
do a
basically, +1 gets you to a 10. Good stuff. All right.
Wow.
So it says if they open up to you, you can choose from one, and other things will happen. So how does Chrry react?
I think she just stands there frozen for a bit. A tear drops down. Dora comments on the leaking face. She slowly takes the pastry, and then, if you'll allow, Melody, she just sort of wraps herself around you, and probably is trying to pretend that she's not crying, but you can kind of like feel the shake slightly as she's soaking your shoulder.
I'm trying to be better in these situations, so I fully embrace the hug. I'm like, well, today's going to be great. You're going to be great. You're going to absolutely ace these interviews.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
whatever comes after, we'll face it all together as a group.
Have you met the princess?
I don't know that Melody would have properly met the princess.
Probably
so,
not.
No. I tend to avoid royalty, but not been acquainted so far.
Thank you, Melody, so much. And this is one of the best pastries. She's looking around. Maybe we're near the canteen. She grabs a knife and cuts it in half and gives half back to you. You have to try it too.
Well, what about Dora? 3 parts.
That's all right. I do not require any. I, in technicality, do not require any physical sustenance, but I may partake as simply a social activity. I believe in this case, Cherry Heart, please have your half.
Maybe I do have time for just a quick break.
And I will take the knife and put my half into another half and give it to Dora.
Cute.
Enjoy.
Dora, you have sustenance. So with that being the case as well, you can choose, Chrry, to clear a condition, mark XP, get a +1 forward, and gain insight from the GM about an obstacle facing one of you is also an option. So any of those. I've also put them in the chat.
I might ask for some insight from the GM.
Yes,
Cool.
feel free. What would you like to know?
Maybe what Chrry should expect in an interview with the princess. How I don't know, like maybe what her personality is like, or what, stumbling blocks she's heard from others.
You know what? I'm going to give you some, I think, quite useful information about this interview. Yeah. I think it would behoove you to be aware of the princess's well-being in such a public-facing interview.
Okay.
Nothing to do with the content warnings I gave up top. Anyway, how does that sound? I can also give you some insight into her personality if you would like.
No, that sounds absolutely perfect. Yeah.
Melody can also choose one of the options, or take a string on Chrry.
I think I will take the string.
Use a string, get it back. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, the three of you head off to chat. Is there anything else you want to do before the interviews?
I might just oh, sorry, go on next.
No, it was I'm just reminding you about the string advance. Because you have 4 strings on me.
Oh, the what?
Yeah, when you gain a 4th string on someone, you have a profound insight and learn something about it that even they don't know.
Oh.
You're so right. Thank you, Anya.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This is people know the rules. All right. So profound insight. I assume that would be something that you could offer maybe about Nyx.
Yeah, so it's and the way it's written is that the player that the 4th string is on can also ask the GM for some suggestions and things, just so that people know that that's a thing.
Yes.
But I would say that Chrry, you, while you are like deeply upset about that interaction and insecure and all of that and feeling a little hopeless, you would also recognize that the way Nyx was talking, it sounds like someone hurt them in the past. And that's part of why they have a really hard time opening up to people. And so they just kind of have this face that they have in front of others that they don't like to be fully emotionally open. And so like that's the very first time that you saw them truly like upset and kind of explaining what was going on with them. But yeah, there's something more there that you think that she has revealed something to you, and there's a potential that she could maybe in the future be willing to open up more.
Okay, very interesting. Thank you.
And with that, you clear all but one of your strings on Nyx, and you gain 2 XP.
Yeah.
Oh,
God.
It's good
Wow.
stuff. Good stuff. Okay. So what would you like to do, Chrry? Would you like to head to your interview now, or anything else?
I think so. I might just, if I can just eke this little friendship scene out a moment longer, I might, because Dora and Chrry are friends in a, I feel like you're a bit of a sounding board, maybe. And given these thoughts about Nyx that are going through my head and this revelation that's coming to, I think I'm just kind of bounce things back against you, and I'm like, Dora, in your experience, are friends hard work?
in my limited experience of understanding friendship, friends can indeed be hard, but the reward is exponentially greater.
Exponentially. What do you think someone means if they say that, friendship is hard work? Melody?
I think they intend to indeed say that friendship has been hard for them.
Yeah.
Sometimes in friendship there's more take than there is give for some people, and some people expect more out of a situation than perhaps was agreed. And I know I've been on both sides of that in the past, and it's hard when you've been in that situation, and I can see why that's something that's difficult for Nyx.
Oh, I it's not about Nyx as such. I was never really allowed friends, so I'm just asking because I kind of like it. Not that this is about me either. I need to go to that interview, so I will catch you both later. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Heart, you are a very good friend, and you are a very accomplished content creator. I wish you all the success, even though I know that based on your previous experiences, it is likely unwarranted for you will do well.
Thank you, Dora.
I will go talk to Nyx on your behalf.
Oh,
Oh, she's power walking though. She's gone.
We'll see you after.
okay. Great.
Dora and Melody, are you heading to find Nyx?
I think I'd
Dora
be following
went in the
Dora
direction.
wherever Dora's going, I'd be following.
All right, like a baby duck, you follow Dora to find Nyx. Nyx, you said you were going to be training with your glaive potentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Just
so you're out in the grounds.
swinging around in a practice pattern dance, just trying to shake off the emotions.
Dora and Melody, it's a beautiful display, and you can see that that Nyx's command over their weapon is extremely solid and beautiful. But there is also a kind of rigidity to the movements that make it seem that there is trouble brewing underneath.
Just off to the side, silently, but making physical gestures to get Nyx's attention.
Amazing. I would say they probably clock you, but give it another like 2 or 3 minutes before they just finish off a move and then set down the glaive.
Dora does not tire of making physical gestures for the attention.
I definitely don't want. I definitely wouldn't want to get in front of that glaive. So,
18 inches of steel.
you seem
Hi. Sorry.
Hello, Nyx.
Can I help you two with anything?
I was following Dora. We ended up here. It's nice to see you.
Likewise.
I am here because I caught the end of the conversation you had with Cherry Heart, and I was hoping to inquire as to your state.
I don't know what you heard, but everything is perfectly fine. I just needed to let off a little steam with the glaive.
Well, you did seem a little tense. Whilst I wouldn't want to get in front of the glaive, it did seem like it was something you were holding back.
It's nothing. Everything's fine. Just ran into an ex who couldn't take no for an answer on asking me out and had to put her in her place. It's fine. Life is good.
Would you like me to talk with this ex?
Honestly, not a bad idea. I get the feeling that she's probably going to keep trying, and that's a little bit too much for me right now.
That would be much for anyone if they had made their boundaries clear, and that is not being respected.
Hey, if you want to talk to her, maybe direct her attention somewhere else, that would be amazing.
Is that what you need at this moment?
Yeah, sure. That sounds great to me.
Please understand that before I was matriculated into this school, I originally served as a digital assistant. I was what everyone needed of me. I had no feelings or concept of emotions or wants or desires. I was told only later that I was allowed to express myself, and that in a place where I could express myself, I could also express things I did not want. It took much time and it was difficult. It was hard. And sometimes I noticed that I am also leaning into those old habits. But I feel that in this capacity, perhaps it is one aspect of how I can be a friend.
Interesting. Sounds tough.
Do you
Not
find it easier to have
acknowledging
a
anything.
Do you find it easier to have a discussion if I also keep my statements short?
I don't think that there's all that much to discuss. Things are what they are.
Do you
Would
want
you
to
find it
roll
easier?
to?
Mhm.
Do you want to roll to figure a person out potentially?
Yes, she's going there.
And I believe there is there might be some stuff to do with that in your playbook, Anya, for Nyx. Is that a thing?
Yes,
I'm
there
double checking.
is.
That's
Under
from
EU
wit.
feelings.
I don't have anything hurting me there. So let's go. That is a total 8. I have 2 strings on Nyx.
Okay.
I can use that to bump it up to a 10 because that's how math works.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, you spend 1 and then you can add 3. Should you need to.
Do that then.
Cool.
And then these strings are gone.
Yes. Okay, fantastic. That takes up to 11 then. Now, in a normal circumstance, I believe that would be a-okay, but I think you both have figure a person out things, particularly to do with your playbook.
Actually, it's not EU feelings, it's the mask.
Mask, okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us about that first?
Yeah, so it's the additionally aspect of the mask, because I'm not rolling anything with an NPC. Additionally, whenever a PC figures you out, you can give false answers. You must increase your feelings by 1 at the end of any scene where you do this.
Because you're telling a big lie. Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. And Ida, what about you?
I get to ask a question from my search engine optimization list.
So good.
Amazing.
Oh, goodness me. Okay. Search engine optimization list. Where is your
And,
list? Tell us about it, please.
One of the 3 questions I can ask is, how do you fit into the world around you? Who do you hate the most? Who will mourn you? I think I would go for the second one. Feels the most relevant here.
Sure. Remind us what that one was.
Yeah.
Which is, who do you hate the most?
Okay. So,
It's an introspective answer. Who knows?
and you can, with the mask, you can lie about this and raise your feelings if you want to.
Who is upsetting you the most at this moment?
Oh, absolutely my ex. It's frustrating dealing with that whole situation.
Seems legit, I guess. Dora?
Then, as a friend, I will attempt to speak to your ex on your behalf and make sure that they are respecting your boundaries and wishes.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm gonna say as well. So, you get your you get your SEO.
All need this.
You can additionally ask one of these questions. So that happens anyway, but you can also ask 2 of the normal questions associated with the move, which I'm going to put in the chat for you. And I'm going to say as well, Anya, if you choose to lie about these, they will each add on to your feelings.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because I like the feelings mechanic. I think it's fun. I want to explore it.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Totally.
So what are your feelings
to look
towards...
at how I can reduce my feelings as well.
What are your feelings towards blank? What do you hope to get from blank? How could I get you to blank? What do you love the most, and how would you feel if I blank?
I always love it when you say these blanks.
Me too.
It's very funny.
How would you feel if I blank? Tell me. Tell me how you would feel.
So Dora would follow up with saying, after I have a discussion with your ex, how could I get you to have a follow-up discussion afterwards?
With Giselle?
With you, myself, and yourself.
Okay, that makes significantly more sense.
Clarifying.
What follow-up discussion would need to happen?
To ascertain your feelings on the matter after my discussion with Giselle has been completed.
Oh, I don't think that there needs to be any discussion at all. I think that you do that, and so long as she agrees to it, that's all that needs to happen.
I mean, I think that would be really nice for Dora to have that discussion, though.
Why?
Well, she is putting herself in the middle of all of this.
She offered.
Yeah, but it's still going to be, it's a lot to take on. And would be good to see how she feels afterwards. I mean, if you're not interested in that, Dora, I'll have it. I'm happy to talk to you about it.
And
Well,
next,
if you
furthermore,
really want, yeah, go ahead.
while I will endeavor to do my best, how would you feel if I did not succeed in convincing Giselle?
It wouldn't be the end of the world. I would figure out some other way to avoid her. Just would make things a heck of a lot easier.
That
And those
sounds
were
like
my
the
two
truth.
questions.
Is that the truth, the last one? Or is it?
That one is the truth.
Okay. So I've taken your feelings back up to 2. All right.
Cool.
And also, I was hoping that as I am offering essentially to take myself into a precarious situation, I'm hoping this will try to not make me to feel guilty. I'm going to go put myself in the line of fire, so to say.
Yeah.
Whatever my
absolutely.
friend needs, even if they're not telling the truth, I will go do it. If Nyx needed me to go I don't know, jump in lava, Dora might just go jump in lava. Go, all right, locating magma.
I fully believe that as well. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely mark guilty off. You're doing something for a friend. And it means a lot. And you've made an effort to best figure out how you can help out your friend. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to, if you're about to head off and talk to Giselle, I think I'll cut back to Chrry if everyone's okay with it.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Absolutely.
Okay. Chrry HoT, you are currently sat in a similar to like a kind of talk show setup, and you have just finished chatting to Amari. How do you think just generally the chat went with Amari? You know, somebody you know quite well, someone who get along with and want to champion. How do you think that went?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like close friend banter, but I think that the thing with Chrry and Amari is that he's been doing like lots of her costume design and everything for ages, and that she doesn't really recognize to the public properly. So he's kind of like been hidden in the background. So I think the interesting thing about the interview was more that he actually got like a platform to sort of, and for once Chrry was, you know, promoting his stuff because it was about him. So I think that was the thing that we got out of that.
Yeah. You know what? I actually really like that. Do you think maybe that could perhaps clear a condition in some way?
Ooh, well, okay. So, I mean, maybe the insecure one, because she's getting back into the flow of like, oh yeah, this is my thing. I can do this.
Yeah, and it kind of, I would say it goes against the idea of jealousy to promote somebody who, like, using your own platform to, like, you know, be like, this person is somebody I trust and is as good as me, you know, like, so, yeah. Okay. So go ahead and clear the insecure condition. Nice.
Although I feel, given what info you gave me, maybe I should have had a bonus to defy danger, but let's...
I don't know what you're talking about. I couldn't possibly say. Amari is, like, you can tell that they're super grateful to you. And he kind of, before exiting, kind of, you know, will come up to you and, like, give your hand a squeeze and just will whisper, thank you.
Of course. And she kind of, like, doesn't even realize that it's a big thing for him, because why wouldn't I? Because you don't.
Amari kind of gives you a little grin and then we'll head off. Next up, Renee Townsend. How do you think that conversation went?
I think there was a lot of masking on both sides of that conversation. There's a bit of tension between the two of them because of that sort of the way that Chrry painted Renee after the Ember
Yeah.
incident. So I
Do you
think it's
think-
probably trying to dig into kind of like her, and just I think there was a lot of coming up against a wall.
Do you think Chrry kind of takes any kind of like accountability for how Renee's been kind of framed as a result of what Chrry said after everything went down in the trial? No. Interesting. Okay.
I think not outwardly.
For sure. I think Renee perhaps expected that you might try to clear the air with this interview and is expecting that of you, and then when it doesn't happen, kind of deflates a little bit. And this is probably the most emotion that you've seen from her.
Okay.
And I think, she at a certain point she'll be like, I mean, enough about me. What about you, Chrry? Obviously, we went against each other in that that trial. Initially, you got anything to say about that at all?
Oh, I have plenty of time to talk about me on my platform, and this is all about you. But you were terrific in that competition. Let's not there's no doubt about that. And how do you feel about that victory?
You know what? I feel pretty good about it. Doing something like that on the first day of term and getting such a reaction out of it, it's definitely interesting.
I think Chrry lets it hang. I think she's like nods, smiles, does a kind of look to the camera and a big smile. And I know, so to kind of put this in context, I think the reason Chrry is specifically avoiding this is because this is about Nyx, because it was Nyx that was like the crux of the Renee's victory, I guess.
Yeah.
And having that whole thing going on with her, she just doesn't want to bring Nyx up in any way that could possibly put her in a negative light, and so she just keeps avoiding it.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's fine, and I think Renee kind of like holds your gaze as you like end the interview with her, and you get a sense that something has kind of clicked in her mind about you, and then she exits.
I will say, I think Chrry's a bit intimidated. She knows what she's done at this point, and she's slightly worried.
How do you feel about taking the frightened condition?
Sure.
I love conditions. I love it.
A new BBEG.
Oh dear. All right. So you had that kind of boost with Amari, somebody talking to somebody that you really felt comfortable with and really kind of like platforming him. And then you had this discussion with Renee and that kind of made you feel like, that I could have done without that, actually. And now here comes the princess. And I think we'll probably play this out if you don't mind.
Quick question. The princess is also a student at the academy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, she is. She's a model student. Obviously, her family are the main people who kind of set up the whole academy and are giving all of these opportunities to people. If you're the kind of poster child of the academy in a sense, so is she, and she will kind of float onto the stage that you've kind of set up and take a seat, and we'll turn to you like, wonderful to be here, Chrry.
It's so good to have you, Princess Harmonia. Thank you so much for agreeing, because I think everyone at Harmonia Academy is going to be very interested to see and hear your thoughts.
Oh, I mean, of course, I'm here to champion the school in any way I can. But I think we should also give a big cheer to you for setting all of this up. And we'll kind of like, you have a few whoops and stuff off the side.
No, Yeah. Thank you. So, Princess Harmonia, how do you balance this? How does it feel to be a representative of the Empire and a graduate from, this is the first year of the Academy students. This is a big moment.
Absolutely. I mean, when all of a sudden these powers manifested within me, I initially was quite frightened. I didn't really know what to do with them. And so I'm sure a lot of people felt the same way. And now that there is a place that we can come together and learn how to harness these powers with the guidance of my father and the monarchy and our wonderful professors, I just think that this is something really special,
Do you feel the pressure of, you say the word champion? I mean, you are the champion in both sense, the champion of this academy and a champion going out into the real world very soon when we graduate.
I mean, there is nothing I'd rather be doing than to look after my kingdom. And so the pressure, I suppose, only comes down to making sure that I do enough for you and for everyone else. And she kind of like gives a look into the camera that's like, oh wow, America's sweetheart. Oh, it's wild. Yeah, and she just seems very kind of like very wholesome, very humble as she delivers all of this to you. Now, you did mention delaying your stagger to this point. Is that something you would like to do at any point? Just to remind you, because you had 0 to 3 conditions at the time, you can lash out at someone whose regard matters to you, provoke them to do something foolish or harmful, take advantage of a string you hold on them if applicable. I don't believe you have a string on the princess.
I don't know.
I will say as well that nearby, you do notice that the headmistress has walked into the room. And is silently observing you from the back. She said that she was going to be watching. You assumed she meant watching from elsewhere, but no, she's here. You can also, with the stagger, hesitate or stumble, and the opposition gains an opportunity. Whoever you see as the opposition, it's up to you. Or you grin and bear the blow, and you mark 2 conditions. So.
Okay, so I feel like the hesitate and stumble to allow an opposition to gain an opportunity is kind of more, I don't have a string against princess, as we've mentioned. I think Aurora coming into the room has, like, it distracts Chrry, and then kind of all her thoughts just sort of like fall out of place. And then the whole thing with Nyx comes back in, and I think she starts asking kind of weird questions. So have you made any friends while you've been here, princess?
Yeah. I mean, I would like to say that I think of everyone here as a friend, but I have a close group of friends.
Of course you do. I didn't. Yeah, that was. Why don't we just put this out to the audience for a moment to get a few questions, and I think maybe the opportunity for the opposition is that perhaps Renee can get back at me here. Maybe.
Yeah, I will say that on a minor level, Renee has stayed in the area and is staring you down. So you do also have her, along with the headmistress, so many different eyes on you. And then suddenly you never really think about it because it's so natural to you, but suddenly you become aware of the fact that there are thousands of people watching you right now. And it gets to you in a way that it never has, because this is what you do. But you just have this kind of sense of self-awareness, and you kind of almost like have an out-of-body experience almost with it. And it just leaves you faltering. And that is the exact moment that you notice that someone else is walking up to the podium where you are, to the stage where you are. And they reach out and they grab the princess's hand. And she looks confused and she's like, what are you doing? And you see dramatically pulling a hood down, because that's what we do here. Yamai Red Silk, the villain that the headmistress has told you about, is here. And she takes out a long scimitar from underneath her cloak, which kind of, as she does it, kind of appears ethereally in her hand. It's almost like a reflex that she like takes it out from under her cloak. But just like you and so many of the other people here, she is a wielder, and she's gonna hold out her sword towards everyone in the room and say, "Good to be back. You don't mind if I just grab the princess and go for a little chat, do you?"
I feel Chrry is armed. I think it's like part of the uniform. I think they always have, but this is like part of this stunned thing, and the fact that Chrry had a kind of secret crush on Yamai for.
Yep. And I was going to say, she's staring right into your eyes, like her kind of like long red hair is like flowing down. Her she looks fantastic. Yeah, she's got kind of like her darker skin is kind of like radiant almost. Like another not completely staggering thing, but like, you know, if you're taken aback by the fact that you're like, still even now you get a kind of like, oh my tummy, oh my god, you know.
Yeah, and I think so. Cherry's weave mirror is like, you know, doing the floating around thing, like broadcasting this. There's probably dozens of other ones capturing this whole moment. A lot of people know Cherry's fight style. She'll like put a flash of light in the opposition's eyes to kind of just distract them, blindside them. And she's got her swords with her, but they all see Chrry just frozen, just staring for those vital seconds where she could have acted and doesn't.
Yeah. And I think you see the same of the princess as well, who's also studying at the school to, you know, use her powers, is frozen. You even look out and see that Renee is also kind of stunned and unsure of what to do. And then you also look over to the headmistress, who like strides forward, and instead of kind of saying anything, she looks to you, expecting you to do something.
I think Chrry is a rabbit in headlights.
Yeah.
She goes from the headmistress to Yamai. Is Yamai like backing off with the princess, or just sort of being smug?
I think at this point she's so overconfident that she is just walking out with the princess. She's got like a kind of hold on her hand, and is just like walking her out. And I think at this point the princess is kind of like, wait, is somebody gonna help? Somebody help! And like is calling out to people, and is trying to like tug away, but Yamai is very strong.
Are my friends in the audience?
Now I believe your friends.
Oh no, because they're in it. Yeah,
we're off doing something else.
Next, yeah. So I think she like scans around, sees that they're not there, and that's when it like everything floods back. Chrry jumps up, sort of swords drawn, but it's like it's that bit too late. So she is suddenly looking to kind of take action, but is now on the back foot. And
I'm going to actually offer you XP to let this happen, because I'm going to spend a string, which I have. I start off every session with one for each player, and I'm going to use one now to offer this to you and say that you just, despite all this training, you cannot bring yourself to take Yamai on, whether it's because of the feelings you had for her, which you kind of, it was just a crush, but it's still like, you still can't bring yourself to think of this person as a villain, or just because despite all your training, it just doesn't feel like something you can do.
Yeah, can we say everyone sees this?
Yeah.
maybe there's a curtain like on the. She's about to take the princess sort of like backstage, behind a curtain, and just before she gets there, I look like I'm going to make an approach. Yamai turns round, like holds a sword towards me, and everyone just sees. I freeze.
And I think as well at that point, Yamai is going to kind of smirk as she sees you completely falter here, and is going to notice the kind of cameras that are streaming to the weave, and is going to say, look at you. Do you think that the Academy has helped you with your craft? Do you think you even have the choice to be here, to leave, do whatever you want? Because I don't. And I've been saying that for quite a while, but I think maybe people will start to listen to me with the help of the princess here. I'll see you all soon. And is going to disappear with the princess.
I think the very last thing Chrry does is just flick her gaze away from Yamai at the last moment and makes contact with the princess with just like, I'm so sorry. And the princess's expression is probably furious or like, disappointed, I think.
I don't think furious or disappointed. I think that she just simply looks terrified.
Yeah.
And she's gone. And so is Yamai. What do you do?
All the damage is already done for Chrry. She had a moment to stop her, so she's clearly not. So she's still on the stage with her back to the audience, and both of her swords just clattered to the floor.
I think it's at this point where both Amari and Priyanka run forward and try to like turn off the stream for you and try to kind of save face for you in that regard. But the room is deadly silent. People just can't even bring themselves to like address what has just happened, even though it was broadcast for thousands. And the headmistress strides up to you and is glaring daggers at you as she says, "Why didn't you do anything? What were you doing? Just staring, open mouth, like some kind of... You're a wielder."
It was... Yamai. What was she doing?
I don't know what she was doing here, but she's not supposed to be here. Do you have any idea how much of an embarrassment you have been? You know what? Get out of here. Get out of my sight.
She's like full of retorts. And there's nothing. She just turns and runs. Sees the audience, runs behind the curtain, just anything to kind of get away from everyone's eyes.
And I think as well, everyone, that's probably the point where you start hearing the kind of murmurs.
The notifications.
Everything popping off. Not only has the princess just been seemingly kidnapped, but something bad has happened to Chrry. You don't know the scale of it, but it's bad. What do you do?
I'll be looking at my gem, see all this coming in, look at Dora, and I think Giselle can wait. I think we need to get to Chrry.
Giselle should wait, even though I was going to Giselle on behalf of Nyx, which was also on behalf of Chrry Heart. This is rather complicated.
Yeah, I think in the scale of problem, the current one that Chrry is in overrides the previous one, and we should probably run to that one now.
Are you both still in my vicinity outside?
Dora would have at least started walking away because she said she turned and went to go find Giselle. So maybe we're in earshot. I don't know.
Okay. So I would say in that case, like Nyx has like a very discreet, like a ring that is one of those the gems that has lit up. It's like almost like the watches that have like the little notifications, but it's
Nice.
just like a teeny tiny little ring, and immediately like shrinks down the glaive to the more manageable size to put on her hip and is rushing towards you all.
Okay.
What happened?
Since the princess has been taken, yeah.
Cherry Heart
What?
is in a predicament.
Well, let's go find her then.
Nyx, is it all right that I go to assist with Cherry Heart instead of talking to Giselle as I have offered? I feel a conflict in having to choose one over the other.
This is more important. This is absolutely more important. Giselle can wait.
This is more about you than it is for Giselle, but I will take your words to heart.
So
Cherry Heart, we are coming.
you open your mouth and it just goes blah blah.
Klaxon. Ah!
Yeah. Okay. So you're heading towards Cherry. Where do you think Cherry's gone? Okay.
Muted.
I think away. It's like I don't think she thought about it. The first thing was just get behind the curtain, run backstage. I think maybe Priyanka and Amari chased her. Priyanka probably grabbed her swords and brought her swords for her because that's the kind of thing she would do. I think she's maybe just at the moment not knowing where to turn because she's going through. There's probably like loads of replays starting to come up on everyone's feeds, and everywhere she goes, she's seeing people like look up from their mirrors or gems or something at her, and so in corridors, like just confused, not knowing where to turn.
Yeah.
She for the first time, she doesn't want all the eyes on her.
You see memes popping up already that are just instead of drop the ball, it's drop the swords. And
It's so good, it's brutal.
People are already jumping on it. You know what the internet is like. I think Priyanka and Amari are kind of like walking along beside you. Priyanka's like, Jerry, I know you're probably feeling bad about this, but I don't think there was anything that you could have done. It wasn't just you. We were all stood there. You know?
I'm the face of the academy, Pri. It was my response. Just you're not helping, and you know what? Like, friends are real hard work, Pri. Why don't you just? I'm no good to anyone. You'll be better off without me. Why don't you just go?
I would never leave your side. Unless you wanted me to.
The princess has been taken, and it's my fault.
I think Amari steps in then, and he says, "Sweet, that wasn't your fault. We were all there. None of us expected that to happen. We all froze."
You heard Aurora. She blames me.
That I didn't. That was frankly kind of surreal. I don't know why. I don't know what to say.
She's the headmistress, Amari. She knows best.
If that's what you think. I think at this point as well, that's when you hear the footsteps of your friends as they approach. And I think Amari and Priyanka are like relieved to see the three of you. Priyanka, the first time you've ever seen Priyanka with anything but like a cheery smile on her face, she looks very, very worried.
I will rush up and give a hug to Cherry in this moment.
Cherry does. I think as you go to hug her, she like takes the hug like statically and almost like, yeah, in shock.
What happened?
Haven't you seen 100 times over?
The princess is gone. Priyanka kind of says, I just wasn't sure because maybe they didn't look at their gems. So
The princess is gone. She was taken. Like, I look at all of you, feet from me, and I like to show you.
It's just like a boomerang kind of thing going on that's just like boing boing, like with you dropping the swords and just like whoa, like playing over and over again.
This is most unfortunate. Priyanka, would you please assist us in investigating how the assailant has entered the staff? Amari, would you please assist us in ascertaining where would most likely be secluded areas an assailant could have gone to? Thank you for your cooperation. And I immediately just turn around without waiting for Dungeons to cherry heart. What do you need in this moment?
I think that focuses Cherry. Like, that's the great thing about Dora, is like the grounding is like, oh my god, actually, like the princess has gone, and what I'm going through is completely irrelevant. We still have to do something about it. She left backstage. Someone must have seen which way she went. We need to get her back.
We shall. We are here at your disposal.
No, we're all in this together.
I don't want to be insensitive in the moment, but who was the assailant? You know that I don't listen.
She was a student here, left in the first term. She had an unsavory reputation, and everyone thought, well, she's a villain, let's put it that way.
Cherry, I'll say first of all, backing up what you said, yeah. You might have kind of seen her here and there. She went to the school the same time as you have. She, was quite popular, quite upbeat. She seemed completely normal, well, normal in quotation marks. But all of a sudden, she was gone. And all the academy said was that, she went rogue. She tried to attack people. All the worst things you could do as a wielder, basically. Cherry, what do you think your relationship was with Yamai? Was it literally just like admiring from afar?
Perhaps we shared like an obscure kind of class together, which is how I knew her like a little bit better than the others, maybe. So
Yeah.
I'd had a little bit of interaction with her and liked her. So when that happened, it kind of, sparked that. Oh, and she's a bit dangerous as well, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I didn't really know what it was all about. She never witnessed her doing any of these things, right?
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
In you telling me about who the assailant is and you might, could I use my Wicked Past move?
Ooh.
Where upon hearing about a villain for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
you can decide that you know them, and if so, give them a string on myself, and ask a question from the figure out a person list and take +1 forward against them.
Absolutely,
Oh.
Dan. Heck yeah.
Lovely.
So, what would you like Yamai to have been from your past? Kind of like maybe, is it someone you knew before and they kind of didn't recognize here, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think it was probably someone that is not who I've known from within the academy, and that it's actually someone a little bit more closer to home,
Mm-hmm.
and perhaps known for being less savoury, perhaps stories from my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that's kind of been buried into my knowledge about AMI.
I think maybe so she's going to get a string on you as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe when you knew her, she went by Mai.
Okay.
Which is why you didn't make the connection immediately. And I think that you did hear stories about her. I think maybe when you were very, very young, you might have met her. I think that she was a friend of yours. I think that you never had any trouble with her. She was always very nice, very kind of righteous in a way, and would stand up for other kids when they were being bullied, and would make sure that you felt safe. But it's almost kind of like, because he was so young, you kind of like have to really reach back and think of this. And you could potentially talk to your grandmother, who might, remember more than you do. But that's immediately what you get.
Okay. And in terms of the question from Figure Out a Person, could I ask, how could I get you to reveal yourself?
I think you can get her to reveal herself by calling upon her in a way that makes her take notice. You don't think the time is now, but you think there will be a time in which she will come when called. Perhaps I will let you know when that time arises. With that as well, I think that is when the headmistress comes over again. And it's almost like she told you to get out of her sight, but then she just realizes that she still wants to kind of like take you down a peg, almost, Chrry. And she strides up to you and she's like, "Oh, I hope you're having a good little chat with your friends. So I think we need to discuss how this is going to affect the school and how it's going to affect your position in it. I'm going to need to talk to the king. I'm going to need to talk to the other members of staff." And she'll kind of glance at all of you. Like, where were you when all of this happened? Aren't you supposed to be a
Headmistress
team?
Narcisse, is this your priority over the safety of Princess Harmonia?
Princess Harmonia is gone. And whose fault is it?
Then shouldn't our efforts be now focused on retrieving her, rather than discussing potential after effects?
I suppose so. Well, hope you can all come put your heads together and think of a way to get her back then.
Out of curiosity, Headmistress, where were you? Because I looked at the recordings. It looked like you weren't doing anything else either to help.
I'm not a wielder.
And?
I'm a professor. This is not down to me. I'm doing what I can to give the information for you to be able to do these things, for Chrry HoT to be able to do these things.
Thank you. What information can you provide?
She kind of glares at you for a moment, and she'll look to you, Chrry, and she'll say, "Are you going to let them talk to me like this?"
Chrry has a steely look in her eye, and I think it might be the first time she's going to stand up to Aurora. My position in the academy means nothing compared to the princess's safety. We will get her back.
Well, good. I think for a moment she kind of recognizes that she might be losing you a little bit, and her tone shifts, and she'll try and like pull you away from everyone else, and she'll say, "Look, I know things went awry, but as you say, it can be fixed. I know what you're capable of. I know it was just a slip up. Now, promise me that you'll make this right, won't you, Chrry?"
I will do the right thing. What is it that Yamai did? Exactly.
What do you mean?
Well, no one really knows. Going rogue is not really a crime.
It is when people get hurt, when you use your powers for the ill of others.
If I'm to get the princess back, any information you could give me would be useful. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna say, for the first time, we're going to use the call on a toxic power move.
Ooh.
So, when you parlay with a toxic power, ask it your question and roll plus spirit.
Uh-oh. Good job I put that up to 0.
Yeah.
4.
Cool. Take an XP.
That's
Yay.
5.
Oh, there we are.
No,
Fantastic.
4.
Oh, okay. Well, so you'll get more. Okay. With that being the case, not with it being a downbeat.
Yeah.
I think just everything is overwhelming you. You see that, you know, all of a sudden she was being awful to you, and now she's asking something of you, and now she's hiding things from you potentially. You know what? I'm going to offer you that final bit of XP that you need. I'm going to ask you to take a stand against her.
Okay. Do you know what, Aurora? And it's the first time I haven't said like Miss Nussies.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm such an embarrassment to the Academy, then maybe I should step down. Because I'd rather that than... I've done everything for you, and I am not here to keep this Academy safe. I'm here as a student. So you can stick it. I've got a princess to rescue.
Chrry, you don't look. We can put this behind us. It's fine. We just have to make sure it doesn't happen again. When you say step down, what do you mean step down? You can't leave.
You seem to think I could. Just 15 minutes ago.
Under Article 42.1, subsection 3, voluntary dismissal of the Academy is allowed within the Charter.
I think you might have to look at that again. And with that, I think she's going to storm off. She turns and she leaves.
And post. Had my little ring recording that entire conversation.
Anya, you little shit. Oh,
I mimed a little bloop.
You did a little bloop. You did a little bloop.
Chrry has been played by her own game.
You've learned a lot. You've learned a lot from Chrry. Okay, I'm going to keep that in mind, and we'll return to that later. Ooh, all right, Chrry.
So the reasoning behind that, really quick, was because Chrry very clearly had been knocked down quite a few pegs, and Nyx wanted to show that she's still a badass.
Very good stuff.
I don't know if that actually does anything in any of my mechanic stuff, but I felt like that was appropriate for Nyx's character.
I think it's appropriate. I'm going to give you some XP. Here you go. Take an XP. It's for you. Enjoy. Chrry, you look around. Despite the fact that you and Nyx have been having trouble getting along, Nyx has done this for you. It doesn't mean in your mind that things are completely fixed between the two of you. You probably need to talk or something, but it just bolsters you up a little. And you see that both Melody and Dora are still there behind you. So is Priyanka and Amari. The headmistress is walking away. But everyone else is still there behind you. Everyone else still has your back.
Yeah, Chrry is all the emotions right now. She's like shaking as Aurora leaves because that was huge, and it's all kind of just like all the adrenaline's coming out of her. Nyx doing that is something like for another time, because yeah, she's still she the whole friendship thing is really confusing her, and I think she just looks at Melody and Dora and Nyx, and she's getting away. We have to act now.
You seem to know her. Do you know where she might have gone, where she might have taken her?
I didn't know her that well, and where do you take a princess?
I just love the immediate Dora up.
Yeah.
Would
She does have a tower, but
if I have a move, I have vast amounts of information, much of it accurate, some of it useful. Would Dora have studied a city map or census and known in the vicinity where there could be that unguarded or closed down shop? What is an area in close proximity that would be a good stakeout place? I think that's the only lead we have.
so a place to kind of keep an eye out, or a place that you think that they would have gone to.
I think a place they would have gone to.
Okay.
So I want to use my cartography move.
Okay. So that says you have vast source of information, much of it accurate and some of it useful. Mood. When you try to recall information relevant to a challenge before you roll, you can add spirit twice. Okay, so let me see. You know what? Let's go with wit plus spirit times 2, if you wouldn't mind.
Wit plus spirit times 2. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 total.
Okay. So it says most of the information is accurate for a 7 to 9, which is a mixed beat, but something crucial is out of date and you don't know what. So you think that there are definitely several places that could be some kind of hideout nearby, dotted around the city. But you don't know what it is. But when Chrry perhaps relays things to you, she will have noted that she didn't just leave, she seemingly teleported away. You don't know the range of how fast she can teleport.
Mm-hmm.
It could be anywhere. And as Melody was kind of getting at previously, it might be the case that you need to get her to come to you. But you get the feeling that that might be something you have to work on.
So, having all spent time looking at the recordings of what was going on, something that she did say at the end, I don't know if that was captured as part of the recording, about being able to leave. And then the headmistress saying the same sort of thing. That strikes Melody as odd. And whether there's something for us to look into there.
Unless there's anything else anyone wants to do, I'll refer to Chrry while we close out this app. Chrry, how do you feel right now? As in, you've been taken down a peg live on stream. Your patron has turned against you, tried to lure you back, and has walked away from you. How is this all making you feel? Is this something that you can come back from? Are you going to try and get back into the good graces of people, using what Nyx has provided for you? Or do you think you need to look internally a bit more? What do you think?
I think she's low-key worried about the stance she took with the academy, because the academy doesn't mean everything to her.
Mm-hmm.
Her graduation is like all that she's been looking towards. So while she meant it, she's really kind of like shaken by the fact that she's done it. But at the moment, I think her friends are the most important thing. And what, like the toxicity that she's just finally admitted to herself that's come from the headmistress, I think she turns to Priyanka. Hey,
Hi.
I am a terrible friend. And
No, you're my best friend.
yeah, but Pri, I didn't mean it. Don't leave me. I'll make it up to you, because I've spent too long ignoring you and pushing you to one side, and I wouldn't be anything today without you.
Well, I mean, yeah. But it's also because of the fact that you're you. And these things didn't just get handed to you. You worked hard for them. And I don't think that you're, like super great because of all of your influencer stuff and whatever. I think that you're great because of you. And if all of the fame and glory went away, I'd be the same.
Really? But I'm boring behind all this.
Behind all that is you. And you're not boring. You're brilliant. And I think that everyone else here would agree. And if I haven't said it before, I'm a little bit in love with you, so I should, that's gonna mean something, right? So, and I say a little bit, but I mean I am, I'm fully, I am. So if that helps, take that, I guess.
So that plays completely into Chrry's naivety and her innocence, and I think she's totally buoyed up by that. But she kind of looks at Pri and she's like, "Silly, I love you too." and completely doesn't get what Pri meant by the.
Priyanka is staggered and probably has 5 conditions.
Oh no.
You know what? Let's go with you are truly humiliated and the news will spread. Shit. Okay, so
How much am I making up?
Despite all of that though, Priyanka knows you and she nods and she steps forward and she offers you a hug.
Yeah, I give her a hug.
And yeah, I think this is when, Chrry, you realize that these people surrounding you right now are not there because you can provide something for them. They're not there because they find you entertaining or because you're some kind of figure on a pedestal. They see you, and that is what they want to be around.
She's speechless. I think she just looks at all 3 of you. Thank you.
You are very welcome. We are here in the joyful times, and as we have often discussed, in the hard times. Friendship is indeed hard. Friendship requires choices. We choose to be here. I was going to assist Nyx with something on Nyx's behalf, but Nyx told me to choose you instead. Nyx is also choosing to be here. We all choose to be your friends.
flash Nyx like an awkward glance during that. You're all the best.
As they say in the meme, no who.
Well, with all of you gather around and Chrry, you realizing that you are safe with this group of people and you can be yourself. And with the idea in mind that you have a princess to find, I think that's where we will wrap up this episode. Chrry found worth in herself. Hopefully,
Dun, dun, dun.
ish. It's the start of something. Thank you so much, everyone. This has been a really fun episode. I say fun for me.
I wish I had popcorn.
Yeah, I love emotions and feelings and using them for drama. Thanks so much, everyone. This is Horde of Tales. If you're not following or subscribed or whatever it might be, you should do that because this is wonderful and we wouldn't have the chance to play this wonderful game if it weren't for Horde of Tales. And it's super fun and cool. And you should continue to stick around for the whole of Pride Month because there's going to be a bunch of different like games that are going to be played that are by Evil Hat. And so we've got Thirsty Sword Lesbians here, Girl by Moonlight, we have Monster of the Week. All of those are going on, and you should check the link that's in the chat for some cool games by Evil Hat that you can check out. And that supports Horde of Tales. It supports us, and it's just really, really cool of you to do. So go ahead and check it out. Let's go around again and like say thank you and hello and goodbye, I guess, to our wonderful cast. Anya, let's go with you.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Anya. I have been playing Nyx. You can find me at lalionnecosplay everywhere. I'm also a professional game master on Start Playing Games. So if you want to play games with me, find me there. I don't have anything coming up streaming wise except for the fact that I'm playing Pokemon Gold on stream. So you can always check that out. It's a fun time.
That sounds like a great time.
It is.
To be fair. Sam.
Hello, I'm Sam. I am a science communicator and performer alongside the team at Science and Sorcery, where we take STEM subjects and TTRPGs and smash them together. The thing I really want to highlight is that in a couple of weeks' time, we are taking D&D live to the Royal Institution in London. So we're going to be playing games right in the James Faraday Lecture Theatre, which is going to be so much fun. But thank you so much for having me again for this. I'm looking forward to our final game very, very soon.
Heck yes. It's going to be something. Ida.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me here. You can find me on the internet at In the Pan. And also, you know what? Next episode, I'm going to drop a very big announcement about some big projects I'm going to be on, where I'm going to be hanging out most of my time. But for now, it has been a thrill to be here. And also want a big shout out to our producer, Darcy. Thank you for being us behind the scenes. And I hope you all really enjoyed this episode.
And star of this episode, Sakaya. Tell us about you.
Hi everyone, I am Sakaya and I have been Cherry Heart today with all the emotions, and I am now even more memes or memes. So you can find me on the transmissions. Season 1 of Black Teeth has just wrapped, a very sort of tense finale, so check that out if you can. Clearly everything I do is just very emotional, and yeah, that's me.
Wonderful stuff. Yeah, I've been Liv Kennedy, your Gayme Master. This is super fun. I can't believe that we're going to be on the last episode of this little arc. I'm going to save the it's been funs for the next episode. But yeah, this is been it's a joy, it's an honor. But yeah, you can find me at Does Dark Magic on Twitter if you want to find out more of what I'm doing, which is I'm doing some fun stuff. Going to be going to like a few things in Scotland, like Worldcon in August. Ooh. And I don't know, and going to be doing a fun thing at the Fringe as well. Jasper William Cartwright, my co-host, along with Jeremy Cobb, might be also doing a few things with me up there. And all three of us will be at Worldcon, 3 Black Halflings. So you should check out at 3 Black Halflings, number 3 Black Halflings, for more info on that. And we're also doing a bunch of stuff genuinely keep an eye on the socials because it's going to be big. But thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget, if you check out the link that we said, and it's in the month of Pride, you can get 20% off of certain Evil Hat games using the code PRIDE24. So check it out. A little bit of support for Horde of Tales. And yeah, we'll see you in the 4th and final episode of Double Edged. Bye-bye.
Bye.